Students of MTGO Academy, this is your Pauper Professor Jason Moore, and I'd like to welcome you to the latest installment of Elves is what we are going to be playing today. Hang on, let me sort something real quick. Okay, whoa, lots of stuff in your face, sorry about that. Elves is what we're going to be playing today. Elves is one of the most busted decks in Pauper right now. You know, Peregrine Drake is kind of the flag bearer for combo, but Elves really is basically a combo deck. There's so many busted interactions. It's got the most broken, degenerate mana early game that you'll ever see, and it gives a lot of people problems, particularly in Game 1. I think this has some of the most lopsided Game 1 percentages you'll probably see in the format. So let's talk about the deck. It's only 13 lands. It's 12 forests, and 1 island to play Distant Melody. And the deck runs a bunch of mana dorks. It's got, you know, all the Llanowar Elves variants split up so that Echoing Decay doesn't always beat us. We got 8 of the Llanowar Elves variants. That's not even the most busted thing, though. Quirion Ranger gets really busted with all of our tappers. First of all, the Llanowar Elves get better with her. And then we have a bunch of creatures between Well-Wisher, Timberwatch, Priest of Titania that do really crazy things, especially when you double them up with the Quirion Ranger effect. We've also got Birchlore Rangers that not only is a blue source for us, but when you pair it with Nettle Sentinel, all of our spells are green except for Distant Melody. You get this crazy, nearly infinite mana engine where Nettle Sentinel tapping, 2 Nettle Sentinels tapping and making 1 mana Elves is kind of an infinite loop that you can do. You're getting extra green every time you do that. So that's all the 1 mana stuff. The Nettle Sentinel is a beater as well as part of our mana engine with Birchlore Rangers. Our 2 mana stuff, Priest of Titania, really explosive mana dork here. It is 2 mana. I'm only playing 3 because against decks with removal and stuff, she's not going to be worth the price of admission, essentially. Elvish Visionary times 4 just to keep us getting looks at our deck, and basically you can run out of steam with this deck if they sweep you, so I think it's just a little bit of insurance against that. 2 Sylvan Rangers to help us find that island, and 4 Well-Wishers because this card really hoses the aggressive and burny type strategies, especially with Quirion Ranger. We flood the board so incredibly quickly, and I hope you'll find that, you'll find that to be the case in the games, that this is insane. I mean, even if you imagine a card that can gain you 5 life every turn is going to dominate and decimate a lot of aggressive people left and right. Timberwatch Elf is like the finisher of the deck. Basically, when you're done flooding the board, this guy makes whoever's not being blocked into the biggest creature of all time. We're playing 2 Spider Silk Armor, and that's to give us a little bit of Game 1 resilience against sweepers. Sweepers like Electrickery, Evankar's Justice, Shrivel, all that stuff. No, there's not a lot of Game 1 stuff like that, but this also has the added benefit of helping our guys survive combat and also helping us fight Delver Flyers. So I like that, and I think it's worth having in the main deck. We've got the 3rd and 4th in the sideboard. Lastly, we've got a token producer out of Lorwyn, 3/3 Hill Giant guy, Huntmaster, Liz Alana Huntmaster, who gets a lot of green elves, and those you can also pair up with the Birchlore Rangers. So you play a guy, it triggers this, gets you a token, so the guy you played and the token tap to Birchlore Ranger's ability, making you a new guy and a new token, and you can keep doing that too. So it's another engine that goes pretty infinite. And then, of course, Distant Melody. If you're not familiar with this card, you're going to see it draw us a billion extra cards, which, you know, I guess is pretty good in this game. Our sideboard's kind of sucky, but let's just go through it now. We have 4 Spore Frogs. That's just going to be to try and stop people from killing us with crazy Temur Battle Rage attacks. We have 4 Gleeful Sabotage. That's going to be to just try and kill stuff that has the requisite permanent type. 2 Graveyard Hosers, Relic of Progenitus. This deck is really busted with Viridian Longbow. Again, we have Quirion Ranger that untaps creatures. Ping untap ping. We have Nettle Sentinels that untap, so you can ping, untap, ping. We have Priestess Titania, who makes 1 billion mana, so we can ping, equip it to a new guy, ping, constant, reusing of that. 3rd and 4th Spider Silk Armor, I already mentioned what this is for. And then Ulamog's Crusher might seem weird, but if there's other broken decks, really fast decks like Reanimator or other combo, we want to have something that can bust them in the skull right away, basically an instant win, and Ulamog's Crusher is the thing. Against other non-interactive decks, maybe even hexproof, we want something where all of the mana we have is going to result in something that's game-winning immediately. So Ulamog's Crusher is our closest approximation of that. Alright guys, we're going to jump right into the matches right now. Hi folks, welcome to round number 1, and as you can see we had another one of our audio issues happen, so we are going to be doing a replay. We are on the draw against an opponent who's mulliganed to 5, and we see a blue-red dual land, which immediately narrows things down to, is it Drake being the most prominent option? Is it Fiend with Nivix, Cyclops, Kiln Fiend, and Delver of Secrets being next up? And then basically tapering off into multicolor decks, 3-color decks, possibly an Is It Control deck, not playing the Peregrine Drake combo, and as you can see, we are of course playing Elves. We kept this hand on the draw, and let's see how it works. So, I believe I play the Elvish Mystic, and the reason I do that is because if we draw something like Quirion Ranger, it actually makes our turn 2 more explosive by giving us extra mana. The Birchlore Rangers needs 2 guys anyway, so I think I play the Elvish Mystic. You can probably debate what you want to do. It also gives us options to play 3 drops if we want to. He actually doesn't have a removal spell, so I think here I can go Birchlore, and a 3-drop, and it looks like I actually don't do that option. Actually, no, I could not have done that. So just ignore me. There's no way I could have done that. So I choose this option, which I think is definitely a good one. And here we see that he's got some open counter magic. I think I actually, because we're so flooded with Huntmasters, I just offer one up to the Counterspell Gods, and he counters it. So there are things I could have done there, but that to me felt like the best option. Here now we're going to do another Huntmaster. Unfortunately, we don't have mana to do anything with it, but I'm really just trying to run away with Huntmaster triggers, and he doesn't have the removal spell, it looks like. So we know he's got that counter spell. We've got a lot of things we'd like to resolve. So the first one I try is Elvish Visionary, which triggers the Huntmaster. It's going to draw us a card. He actually lets it resolve. And I think I actually pass after that. Oh, there's a Sylvan Ranger, so I also go there. Gets me another token. So we're basically putting ourselves in a position where the only way we lose this game 1 is if he can combo off. I go for the attack, figuring if he's got anything at instant speed that can burn this after blocking, it's probably a bolt anyway, so he could have used it. So, and here I decide not to throw anything into the obvious counterspell. I'd rather, if I'm going to throw something really important into a counterspell, I want to be able to play something equally important right after that on the same turn. So he's just passing again, and I actually decide not to attack with everything. I just am going to attack with 3/3, I believe. So here we're baiting with this one because we already have one in play and it's doing wonders. I think I'd try the Spider Silk Armor now. And he counters it. Though I don't think that would have been too important. I mean, it lets our guys get through the Archaeomancer in terms of attacking. But it's not very likely that he's got Electrickery game 1. So, he's still taking a bunch of damage. Now he's going to do something crazy, it looks like. Might be Mole Drifter. Yeah, it's a Mole Drifter. And he burns away the Huntmaster, so he's dealt with that. And now we have Carte Blanche, and I think I probably just play the Timberwatch Elf. I kind of got a little gun shy here about committing any more to the board. I believe he finds... Okay, let's see what he does. Yeah, he finds a way to kill the Timberwatch Elf. And he uses it. And I don't have a lot else going on, so I try and go for the Priest of Titania. It works. But now he has 2 blockers, so it makes attacking even worse. I probably should have just decided I'm going to start attacking, but maybe not. I don't know. Okay, so there's the Distant Melody. I actually just throw it out there. We've already seen 2 counter spells. And it works, so we draw everything and we play everything. I mean, we don't play absolutely everything. I think I play a Well-Wisher or 2, and also Timberwatch Elf, and then I leave everything else. I might even play 2 Timberwatch Elves. Or no, I only have 1. Yeah, so I play Timberwatch Elf and a Querying Ranger, which will be a lethal combination. If you don't understand what just happened there, Timberwatch Elf makes one of my creatures the biggest thing since sliced bread. Querying Ranger untaps the Timberwatch Elf so I can make something else the biggest thing since sliced bread. And with the number of elves I have, he A, can't block them all, and B, it's enough to kill him with a lethal attack. So I don't have the sideboarding part for you, but I can tell you that I cut all my Well-Wishers. The life gain is, as you can see, not too relevant here. It's basically either he can infinite combo us, so it doesn't matter how much life we have, or, he's just going to be playing the control deck role, and he's not in a race to deal damage to us. So the Well-Wisher doesn't really disrupt anything he's doing. We bring in Ulamog's Crusher because it's the most unfair thing we can do for 8 mana besides the Distant Melody shenanigans. So and he doesn't have a lot of ways to stop it. He would need 2 cards to deal with it if he leaves counter magic down, or shields down rather. It leaves his mana down. Ulamog's Crusher is just going to kill him. So it's a pretty busted thing we want to do against a deck that is itself busted. We bring in 1 Relic of Progenitus just to try it out and see if it interacts with his game plan in a decent way. And then my other 2 cards are the 3rd and 4th copy of Spider Silk Armor. And that's because I'm expecting him to play Electrickery, and also because his removal is damage based. So if we can raise our toughness, we can ultimately get around a lot of that removal. Oops, I hit the wrong button. So that went super fast, and that sucks. But I mulliganed to 5 because I didn't have lands in any of the previous hands. So if you want to rewind it and hit pause as fast as possible, you're more than welcome to. I think I go Sentinel here because I actually want to bait out removal and save my mana dorks. But he didn't have a removal. Again, that's very uncanny. So here I'm going to try and play around Electrickery as best as I can by playing another Nettle Sentinel and one of these mana dorks. I actually don't think I overcommit here. Yeah, I don't think I do. Oh, I'm wrong. I actually go for the Visionary. So pretty strong turn 2. I mean, I was able to dump 3 additional creatures. That's just a turn faster than anything any other aggro deck does on turn 2. So we get to attack with Sentinels. And I'm really hesitant about committing more to the board, but I end up playing the other Elvish Visionary because I want to get more looks into my deck, and I want to find a Spider Silk Armor or something. I'm actually going to let this play, and hopefully it doesn't go too crazy. Because these next few turns are fairly pedestrian. He goes for Seagate Oracle, finds his land, burns my Birch Lore. So here I do something really stupid, which is I attack with both guys because I'm trying to bluff that I can do something to him. But it gives him an opportunity to double block one of the Sentinels if he wants, which he didn't end up doing, but it was a really stupid attack that I made, and I just benefited from him not double blocking. So here, again, we're kind of stuck. I decide because he's using lightning bolts and flame slashes and stuff that I basically don't think he has electricity, so and here he just goes off really crazy. He doesn't do the full combo, but he does enough to really put us way behind and give him a bunch of flyers. He does have the electricity there. Sorry, I was drinking water. I'm presuming that he found it with that Seagate Oracle. He's still going. I mean, this is a ridiculous turn. And I believe he's got a Mole Drifter to follow up. I also have the Relic here, so he's got 2 Ghostly Flickers in the graveyard. He evokes the Mole Drifter but doesn't cast it. That was really weird. He goes for the Archaeomancer. I wait till it targets something, and then I blow the Relic. But still, we're way behind here, and he actually attacks. I don't have a block because the Electricity put a damage on both my guys. So now, because he already cast the Electricity, I'm trying to just refill my board here. And the sad part is, he's just way in control. I try to double block a Seagate Oracle, it works. And now I attack first. I think I go for the armor now. No, I go for the Huntmaster. And he counters it. And yeah, he's still bashing in the air, obviously. Preordains, I think he bottom tops, which gets him another preordain, and then he tops. Almost certain. Top, bottom top. I really need to talk about that play I just made too. Right. Top, bottom top, like I said. Okay, so the reason I go for Timberwatch Elf, he has us dead in basically one turn, because he's going to attack us down to 4, then we're dead. So if the Timberwatch Elf resolves, it's possible that I can draw Quirion Ranger, at which point I would have 6 Elves in play, if you're counting the Timberwatch and the Quirion Ranger. And so basically if he attacks me in the air, so okay, Timberwatch resolves, right? I have 5 Elves in play. He attacks me in the air thinking I'm just going to finish this guy off. So he has 3 blockers. I attack him with 5 of my Elves after drawing Quirion Ranger next turn. He can only block 3 of them, so I can double pump one guy for the win. He counters the Timberwatch Elf and kills the guy. And my draw for turn is Quirion Ranger. So, had that worked, had he not had the exclude and the flame slash, the line we took was actually correct. Not just because the Quirion Ranger was there, but because that was basically our only out. Alright, going to game 3, I didn't change any sideboarding, and this should be very quick. So I choose to play first. I'm really trying not to hit that play button, but my frickin' mouse keeps shifting around for some reason. Anyway, I'm going to keep this hand. And I actually lead with Llanowar Elves because it's the most busted potential. We have the Quirion Ranger there. He actually leads with, I think, just a tapped land. No, just a mountain, and he doesn't have anything to do with it. And then we just have a couple of busted turns in a row. So we have to be a little careful not to get electricaried out of the game. My presumption is that he's just got a Karoo land for his turn 2. So I think I don't go as crazy as I possibly could here. Oh, you know what? I can actually play the Spider Silk Armor. I remember this now. So if you see here, Nettle Sentinel is going to get us some free mana because it untaps with Birchlore Rangers as usual. I get to untap my Llanowar Elves and play my Forest. So now I can play the Spider Silk Armor. So we were able to play 3 guys out and a 3 mana enchantment on turn 2. Super busted. That's what this deck does. It's really broken, especially in the early game without any disruption. He takes that same course that he took in, I believe, game 1, which was to kill my blue source, which was the Birchlore Rangers. Not really going to matter because we're just being super epic here. I actually get the Timberwatch Elf down and the Quirion Ranger, maybe. No, just the Timberwatch Elf. No, both. Sorry. I don't know what drugs I'm smoking. Okay. And this actually presents lethal because we can use it 3 times. We have 5 elves in play, 5, untap it once, 10, replay the forest, untap it again, 15 damage. So if he has no removal spell, that's not a removal spell, that's Forgotten Cave, then he's in trouble. So, does he have anything? He has evoked Muldrifter. On turn 3, he played his 3rd land, and he's dead on turn 3. So, if that's not any indication on the potential that elves can live up to, I don't know what is. We'll see it for round 2. Alright, ladies and germs, this will be round 2, and we've got a very keepable hand here that basically explodes on the second turn. So we'll snap keep, and if our opponent's not playing an early sweeper, I think we beat most people. Don't know what this could be. I think leading on Llanowar Elves is our best option. We get more mana with Quirion Ranger, and we get to do some Birchlore Ranger stuff. And if he has removal, we also just get to kind of burn through all of it. Actually, we go Quirion Ranger this turn, untap the land, and then play Birchlore, and then we play Finehorn Elves. See, here we go. I found the play. At least I think I did. Man, this deck is so broken. And then we get Priest of Titania next turn, and then we get an epic Distant Melody coming up. Okay, so this is Kuldotha Jeskai. That's exactly what I was expecting based on last turn, and I think we're pretty set here. Fairly certain I can play double Priest of Titania. And I think that's probably what we want to do. In case he kills one, we have another one, and we can cast Distant Melody for a fair amount. So, yeah, I can also play Llanowar Elves this turn. Because what I'm going to do is untap the Finehorn Elves, play another Priest, then I can either play Elvish Visionary, I think, with everybody, or I can play Llanowar Elves and attack. I think I'll just play the Visionary. And we're basically going all out here, meaning we're not playing around Electrickery because it's not very likely opponent will have it. And that was pretty sick. So we get to draw 1,000,000 cards and basically kill our opponent next turn. He's just still trying to find land drops. So what we'll do is we'll Hunt Master, Llanowar Elves, and then Distant Melody for a lot. And that should be the game. Kind of a combo deck here. Unless he kills Birchlore. Nope, just a Glint Hawk for us. And we'll draw enough cards, I think, to probably find a Timberwatch Elf, which should end the game. So yeah, I'm going to do this first with her. And obviously I can untap my either of my priests here. So I'll add blue, and I'll do it by tapping these two. And then I'll tap you. I'll cast Distant Melody number 1. I don't think I'm going to cast 2 of them. I think we'll pick Elf here. And that's pretty sweet. And yeah, we're not going to lose to basically anything here. I could cast another Melody, but I think I'll just basically dump my hand. I don't really see a reason to cast another one. So 5. Yeah, let's just cast this. We'll cast Timberwatch Elf. Okay. We will just untap her. And we'll dump the rest of our hand here. I don't need to Distant Melody again. We just need to end the game. Yep. No reason to draw the rest of my deck, really. And do I have any attacks? Not into a 2/2. So I think we'll just pass there. And opponent is dead next turn to double Timberwatch Elf with double Quirion Ranger. Yeah, that's not going to do it. I have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. I have just way too much. Nothing's going to matter here. This game is over. We're just going through the motions right now. And we win. Okay, so we really need to be concerned about Electrickery. Sabotage I don't actually think hits all that much, though Viridian Longbow might be good against Rebirth tokens. If he's playing Lone Missionary, it might be good. I think the armor is just the best because he has a lot of flyers and he has sweepers. Now, what is the worst? Priest is an explosive card, however, in a removal-heavy deck like he has, we're not going to have as many elves early. And a 2-mana elf needs to really do something for us. Maybe it's better than Well-Wisher. Yeah, maybe we'll go down to 2 Well-Wishers. And then I don't know that we want Sabotage. It does attack his mana base sometimes to some degree, but overall I don't think it's too bad. I think he's going to have Journeys and O-Rings for Crusher, so this is going to be how I board for now until we see more from his deck. The main thing we want to do is try and not die to Electrickery. His deck is quite slow, so we should have a decent amount of time to set ourselves up, though he does have a lot of spot removal. There is a chance that we keep a low land hand with some mana producers, and he just burns them systematically one by one. And that ends up screwing us up. Now this hand's a little risky, but I don't think it's a mulligan. I think we actually keep, because we're either going to the thing we need to have this work is any land or any 1-drop basically that's not another Nettle Sentinel. So I think we'll keep it. He's not the fastest deck on the market, so we're not really in a bunch of trouble. He is going to Galv Blast this one. And I'm going to drink some water so you won't be hearing from me for a second here. He did not Galv Blast. And he's not even Firebolting or anything. So I think I'll play the Mystic now, because we do want to increase our mana potential. Being able to beat down with Sentinel is nice, but it's not really our primary line of play. It's not where we necessarily want to be. So we're going to go with the Mystic. I mean, he may kill it. He didn't kill the Nettle Sentinel, so we'll see. Now that he realizes we only have one land, he might be a little more interested in doing so, which appears to be the case. And this looks like Skyfisher, yeah. So we're just going to keep throwing out mana producers and see how that goes. Here comes Priest of Titania. And we really want to kind of explode onto the board without overextending. This is Journey. No, just a Prism and maybe another red removal. Yeah. So we're kind of taking that out of there. Is he going to attack? No, he's not. So I'm just going to go for another Priest, and we'll see how that works. We can basically get around... Oh, never mind. I was going to say we can get around Electrickery, but at the moment it's not looking so hot. Yeah, so this is the sequence that I was kind of talking about, where he just body bags all of our mana producers for a while. This is exactly what I said might happen. So it looks like Flyers are going to wreck us unless we can get this Spider Silk Armor down. Not yet. I'm going to keep jamming these mana sources because I really think we could benefit from them. He's seen a number of cards with the Prisms, but nope. I thought eventually it might stop, but it's not stopping. Okay, so we kind of had an opening there. I think I'm actually going to go Well-Wisher to try and keep our butts alive. And we just have very few options right now. Maybe I should have run the Well-Wisher out earlier, but I thought it would have been a better bet not to waste time and try and just get one mana producer to stick one turn, but it's a very removal heavy deck, so it's a little tough to really make that work and not just be a pipe dream. Okay, so we're gaining 3 a turn, maybe. But I don't know that we can outpace this. And we're barely alive here. So that's actually okay. I don't think I'm going to offer the trade yet. Actually, we can use the Well-Wisher here, which is kind of cool. I think I'm going to offer the trade here. It can't block, and I can use the Well-Wisher twice, so before the damage actually occurs. So I'm gaining 8 life. That's pretty significant. And then Spider Silk Armor might shut the whole thing down. Okay. So that was kind of good. I mean, we actually guarantee get the Spider Silk next turn, which is kind of cool. He has to kill the Well-Wisher in this position. Okay, so he's got another creature, or is he just trying to race? He's got another creature. Okay. So we're going to do this. Make some mana. Make some armor. We can still only block... What the heck? Oh, this is a new Nettle Sentinel. We can still only block one guy. I'm just going to do this now. But if he suicides, then Glinthawk dies. So I'm happy with that. And also on his end step, I could gain more life if I wanted to, but I don't think I want to. He might just not have read Spider Silk Armor correctly. And once I make these 1/3s, we're looking really good. Yeah, he should have drawn a card first. He might have had a way to kill the Nettle Sentinel. Alright, we might be stable here. More or less. Which is kind of insane. I think I'm going to run another Spider Silk out. So I'm going to attack with Nettle Sentinel. Run a Spider Silk Armor out. Then leave my guys back as blockers and also leave up the Well-Wisher ability. I'm actually just going to do it now and hopefully trap him with an untap on the Well-Wisher. He's got a lot of lands, that's for sure. 2 Spider Silk Armors in play should be good. I don't know if he's playing Sanctifiers or O-Ring, but for the time being, he doesn't have a lot he can do to stop this. Pretty sure I'm just going to untap the Well-Wisher EOT or do it now. Oh, going to attack. Well, I'm going to try and kill one of them. And just block another. I mean, he does have Gal Blast available. But, we'll see. I mean, he has it in his deck. I don't know if he has it in his hand. Oh, Celestial Flare. Oh my goodness. That kind of wrecks me. I mean, that really wrecks me. Gosh, that was harsh. That was really harsh, man. And he's gonna kill it. I guess I play Timberwatch Elf. Because now we're just racing and we can't really win the race. Well, Ray of Revelation, that's some tech. Did he see? Yeah, he saw Spider Silk Armor game 1. Dang it. There could be an argument made for me not playing that card out on game 1, since we were fairly certain he wouldn't have a removal spell. There's good old Muldrifter. Yeah, that's annoying. I mean, I didn't know he was playing this card. We have no blocks here, make no mistake. We're on, yeah, I guess we're on, like, no turns. Maybe I should have blocked the Glinthawk. I didn't really think about it, guys. I apologize, I was weak. Yeah, that's GG. Let's just concede. Oops. Sorry about that. The heck? Get out of here. Okay, we're getting out of here. Going to game 3. Being on the play will be nice. We haven't actually seen Electrickery at all. I don't think Viridian Longbow does anything. I don't think Gleeful Sabotage does enough. We actually didn't see any Journey type effects. But this is still a liability because most of our guys will get squashed early on, so we're not going to have that type of mana to really wreck face. So I think we're just going to leave it like this. Revelation is a beating. Wow. Okay, so just going to do what we can, guys, and try and either not draw him. I mean, we really didn't see Electrickery anywhere. And that was a fairly lengthy game. I mean, he saw a lot of cards, and between Mold Drifter and all the times he bounced Prisms and Wellsprings, he did have a lot of removal that first game, or that second game, in those early turns, but that's not too uncommon. That's kind of what his deck does, so here we go. We're going to go for it, and yeah, this hand looks nice. I'm liking this. I'm going to try and bait out with Nettle Sentinel and go kind of aggro here, but it's mostly to bait out some removal so that my mana dorks can make something happen. Oops. Okay, and there's a Spider Silk. So I'm going to play Finehorn Elves and Nettle Sentinel number 2 this turn. It's a slightly different angle of attack here, and it's going to complicate things for him a bit. We cannot really play around Ray of Revelation, so we're just going to get into it. We can play Spider Silk Armor next turn. That's kind of cool. I might go for that. Though Priest of Titania has higher upside, Spider Silk again, in the event of Electrickery, does kind of get there. Okay, so he's taking that route. Firebolt is good against us. So I think I'm actually just going to go Armor this turn. Shuts off Galv Blast for now. Shuts off subsequent Firebolts. Trying to get through these turns faster, man. This is madness. And we get to attack into any creature he plays this turn, so that's sick. And yeah, I'm liking our position right now, but we'll see what happens. He appears to be missing blue mana, but that could change soon. He has no artifacts in play, so we're a ways off from Galv Blast being turned on. Okay, here's something. Bouncing the fountain. Okay, so we can get in. 2 3s are gonna do decently well against him. We'll play our priest. He's a little behind on lands now because he had to bounce a land basically. If we find a blue source, we're kind of in business. But also Huntmaster's not too bad either. Huntmaster's a bit of a problem because he's well away from Metalcraft. He has no blue, so he can't if he's got Mold Drifters in hand. So if he has Ray here, we can still double block, but it looks like he's just got no attacks. Alright, so we are a little frozen up. Okay, not anymore. Yeah, so let's attack. And no real reason to do anything else because we're going to, we have nothing to do till next turn where we get Huntmaster. And that might be a way to kind of steal the game, run away with it. I mean, we'll see. If he attacks, I might just take it. Nope, no attack. Alright, that is kind of weird. I think I'm going to set up the Huntmaster first, but do I attack into this? Actually, I kind of don't want to. So, I think I'm actually going to go Huntmaster and try and go crazy with it. Oh, hang on. Actually, if we get the Galv Blast out, you know, yeah, let's get the Galv Blast out. This way he can't block the Huntmaster and Galv Blast it if he only has one. Oh, he has Ray. Okay. Guess I should have played around that, actually. I'm not entirely sure, but... my hope is that Huntmaster can do something, but I think he also plays Lightning Bolt, so this could be bad too. Jeez. He doesn't need blue. He's got all the removal. Yeah, we're kind of screwed here now. What is this? Did he think he had blue mana? Okay. Well, one of these days, maybe we can get a Priest of Titania in here. Yeesh. Well, we're pretty far behind at this point. We're going to have to just try and go for it here. And re-up. Maybe we can chain some Elvish Visionaries and get Distant Melody going. That would be sick, but... right now we're just kind of sucking. Angelic Purge. Wow. Okay. Well, this is a lot worse of a scenario than I thought we would be facing, to be totally honest with you. Maybe this guy can get it done. I mean, it's plain as day that Distant Melody is our last card. If he has another Journey, that's going to make me really sad that I don't have... you know what's... Gleeful Sabotage is in the deck right now. Okay. Well, we could maybe get somewhere with Huntmaster and Visionary right now. But we're on the clock. We need to put him on a clock. Not exactly what we want to see. Even draw 4 off of Distant Melody is pretty great. So if we can find Birch Lore or something, that would be draw 5 at that point, or Island, or Sylvan Ranger. Okay, he's not... Huntmaster's down. Yeah, this is just a case of him interacting with us a bunch and us not really interacting with him at all. Okay, we're running a race that we can't possibly win. Yeah, I think that was it. I think our race is run at this point. Man, this deck's supposed to be dead. Why do we have to face it? Come on. Come on. You saw me try and play this deck. It was miserable. It was like the worst thing I've played in a long time. So he does have Sanctifiers on top of the Ray. And I'm just going to tap out here. There's nothing really we can do. And time is short, man. Time is precious, guys. You gotta cherish that stuff. Thanks for watching. Welcome to round number 3. This will be the last one we're gonna play first. We've won the die roll. And we are going to keep... This should be a raffle stomp against most opponents. That is one great thing about Elves, is that game 1, you're pretty well set up against most of the field. So we're going to lead on Elvish Mystic, and we'll have a pretty dang good turn 2 that'll involve using a bunch of mana, and untapping the Mystic with Quirion Ranger and what have you. Though he might just kill it. Oh, look at this. Suicide Black is in the house. So, what can I do? I guess I can only make 4 mana this turn, and only 3 of it's green. So I can go Quirion Ranger, Nettle Sentinel, Priest of Titania. I think I'll do that. And even though we're bouncing a forest to our hand, yeah, we don't need to show him the island yet. We actually get to Melody next turn if the priest lives, so that's fantastic. And let's auto yield to this. He's probably going to attack, and I think I'm just going to take the damage because the more mana, the more better. Yeah, we'll take it. Oh, look at that. We have the ultimate tech against this creature. That's hilarious. And unfortunately, well, this gets more mana here. So it's looking like we can just do all of this stuff. I can definitely attack with the Nettle Sentinel. I don't think he's going to block. Yeah, let's attack with it. I think we're fine doing that. I'll go ahead and draw first. And I get to untap her, so I haven't played my land yet, so we'll do this. Don't need the Sylvan Ranger yet. But I'll do it for... Actually, I'll cast it for the thinning. And this should basically be game here. We'll say yes. I'll get a forest. I'll untap Priest. Bounce the forest. I'll play an island. Tap the island, tap the priest, and I'll draw 8 cards. That sounds good. And I think I'll pick Elf this time. I'm feeling like that is what we want to do. Alright, and now we just win the game. 7 mana. Oh, actually we can basically dump our hand here. So what I'll do is I'll use 6 mana. It doesn't really matter how I do it. And what I'll do is Birch Lore. I'm just going to dump my hand. There's really nothing he can have. So this kind of basically lets us go infinite with the Nettle Sentinels. Okay, he just concedes. Sweet! So that was awesome. Playing against Suicide Black. I guess we want Spore Frogs and maybe Longbows, actually. He's going to cut that guy, the elf, it's in his deck. And we probably want to cut some of the fat here. I mean, Distant Melody might be a little slow. I'll shave just one. I think this guy's big, but he might be too big. What else? Nettle Sentinel at least trades. Maybe we don't have time for Visionary. I'm not entirely sure about that. So we trim some of the fat there. If we get enough armors in play, we can block anything on that he has. Spore Frog only buys us a little. Spore Frog actually is not as good as I'm thinking it is here. I mean, it's just a fog. It just buys us a turn. I'm actually going to try and not play it and see how that goes. I think the longbow will be better. I think the longbow would chew up his board, and the spider silk armor. If we can get two, our guys become, and we do have two in play. Our guys become 1/3s, and they can block, I think, most of his offense. Maybe we should have considered Sabotage, because I think this deck tends to play vehicles also. Okay. It's a good one. I may just take the block, but I don't think so. We have the armors, which are going to let us go mad in a second. Yeah, I'll just take it. Actually, you know what? I think I'm going to block. We have another one. We have Quirion Ranger. We're not really worried about too much. Well, we could gamble on Priest. He missed a land. I think I'm going to gamble on Priest. She makes 3 mana by herself next turn, and then I can untap her. So she actually makes 6. So I'm going to gamble that he doesn't have removal. And it looks, wow, he kept that in too. Okay, so this is pretty good. Tap her. Guess I'll draw with the Visionary before going anywhere else with it. So now I'll untap her. This will add 5 mana to the existing. Oh, actually 6. Wait, what? Oh, it counts the Thornbow Archer. Gross. You know what? I'll just go double Spider Silk Armor here. I don't think he can do anything. And yeah, we have a bunch of 1/3s, and next turn Timberwatch Elves just kill everything. Not next turn, but the turn after next. We have 2 of them, and Quirion Ranger. We have just the biggest creatures ever. Okay, that doesn't do anything. So if I triple block, what actually happens here? He casts Mutagenic Growth or something? I'm just going to single block this. See if he has anything. He doesn't really. I think he's in desperation mode. Ugh, gross. It's 5 mana. Alright, let's do it. Tap a forest. Seems like the best play here. Alright, he's pretty dead. He's very dead. Let me rephrase. Alright. Well, this deck is pretty rockin'. You're going to find that if you face straightforward creature decks like that, or even things sometimes like Stompy, or any type of beatdown mono white. I've been really into the Vehicular Manslaughter deck, which I wrote about on Black Border. Those kind of decks, I mean, Well-Wisher with Quirion Ranger and like busted Priest of Titania, busted Birchlore Rangers, busted Distant Melody draws, they can do nothing about it. It's like on another dimension. It's on another stratosphere. So that's why I really like the Elves deck. It's got some stuff that it's just so fast. I mean, round 1, that turn 3 just auto win was crazy. Some of the turn 2s in this deck are ridiculous. I mean, it's pretty nuts if they can't interact with you. We saw in round 2 they could. We saw in round 3, they couldn't. I want to thank you very much for tuning in to this installment of... That's right, Dime a Dozen.